Difference between communication and transmission. Transmission is a physical movement of information and concerns issues like bit polarity, synchronization, and clock. While communication means the full exchange of information between two communication media. Okay. Again, transmission is physical movement of information, and it has like bit and synchronization, clock things. And communication involves this transmission, but it is meaning the full exchange of information between two communication media. So what is the difference between this TFTP and FTP application layer protocols? TFTP is Trivial File Transfer Protocol, which allows a local host to obtain files from a remote host but does not provide reliability security. It uses this UDP, Fundamental Packet Delivery Services, often called UDP. This FTP is a standard mechanism provided by TCP/IP for copying a file from one host to another. It uses the services offered by TCP and is so reliable and secure. So it establishes two connections, which virtual circuit between the hosts, one for data transfer and other for control information. You may be asked what are the advantages and disadvantages of three types of routing tables. So the three types of routing tables are fixed, dynamic, and fixed central. So the fixed table must be manually modified every time there is a change. The dynamic table changes its information based on network traffic, reducing the amount of annual maintenance. And the fixed central table lets the manager modify only one table, which is then read by the devices. And the fixed central table reduces the need to update each machine table as with the fixed table. So usually a dynamic table causes few problems for a network administrator. Although the table's contents can change without the administration being aware of the change. The other question can be, what is beaconing? So the process that allows a network to self-repair network problems. So the stations on the network notify the other station on the ring where they are not receiving the transmission. So beaconing is used in token ring and FDDI networks. What does the mount protocol do? The mount protocol returns a file handle and the name of the file system in which a requested file resides. So the message is sent to the client from the server after reception of client's request. This is mount protocol. What are diagrams and trigrams? The most common two letters combination are called diagrams, and most common three letter combinations are called trigrams, like TH, IN, ER, RE, and AN are diagrams. The, thing, and these and these are trigrams. What is the hello protocol used for? The hello protocol uses time instead of distance to determine optimal routing. So it is an alternative to the routing information protocol. So it uses time. What is the minimum and maximum length of the header in the TCP segment and IP datagram? The header should have minimum length of 20 bytes and can have a maximum length of 60 bytes. What do you mean by XXX in networks? The function of PAD, that is packet assembler and disassembler, is described in a document which is known as X.3. So the standard protocol has been defined between this terminal and the PAD, that is packet assembler and disassembler, which is called as X.28. And another protocol, standard protocol, exists between this PAD and the network, which is called the X.25. So these are together called as XXX. X.3, X.28, and X.29. What is attenuation? The degeneration of signal over distance on a network cable is called the attenuation. What is this PDU, protocol data unit? The data unit in the LLC, logic layer level is called this protocol data unit, PDU. This PDU contains 4 fields as destination service access point, DSAP, a source service access point, SSAP, and a control field and an information field. So this DSAP, SSAP are addressed using LLC to identify the protocol stacks on the receiving and sending machine that are generating and using the data. So the control field specifies whether the PDU is an information frame, I frame, or a supervising frame, S frame, or an unnumbered frame, U frame. What are the data units at different layers of TCP/IP protocol suite? The data unit created at application layer is called the message. At the transport layer, data unit created is called either a segment or a user datagram. At network layer, the data unit created is called datagram. And data link layer, the datagram is encapsulated in the frame and finally transmitted as signals along the transmission medium. So we have message, then it becomes a segment or user datagram, then it becomes finally frame. What is the difference between ARP and RARP? The address resolution protocol ARP is used to associate a 32-bit IP address with a 48-bit physical address, which is used by host or router to find the physical address of another host on its networking by sending a ARP query packet that includes the IP address of the receiver. And this RARP, reverse address resolution protocol, this allows the host to discover its internet address when it knows only its physical address. What is MAC address? The address of a device as it is identified at the media access control layer in the network infrastructure or architecture. So MAC address is only stored in ROM on the network adapter card and is unique. This is unique, so you can easily identify it through any machine through MAC address. What is terminal emulation? In which layer it comes? Telnet is also called as terminal emulation. It belongs to application layer. Types of transmission media. There are two types of transmission media: guided media, unguided media. Guided media, in which we have physical limits of medium, that is, media is directed through signal traveling, normally in the form of electric current like twisted pair and coaxial cable, or light such as optical fiber. We have glass and plastic cable inside it. And in unguided media, we have electromagnetic waves which are transmitting. You don't have any physical conductor, so it is through air, entirely through air. Signals are broadcasted through air, and this is done through radio communication, satellite communication, and cellular telephony. So, what are the major types of networks explained? We have server-based network, peer-to-peer network. This peer-to-peer network computers can act as both servers sharing the resources and as clients using the resources. Right? Server-based network provides centralized control of the network services and rely on server computers to provide security and network administration. What is SAP? Series of interface points that allow other computers to communicate with the other layers of network protocol stack. What is multicast routing? Sending a message to a group is called multicasting, and its routing algorithm is called a multicast routing. What is the difference between a routable and non-routable protocols? Routable protocol can work with a router and can be used to build large networks. Non-routable protocols are designed to work on small local networks and cannot be used with a router. What is REX? REX is request to exit, a signal that informs the controller that someone has requested to exit from a secure area. What are the different types of networking and inter-networking devices? Repeater, bridges. Repeater, also called as regenerator. It is an electronic device that operates only at physical layer. So it receives the signal in the network before it becomes weak, regenerates the original bit pattern and puts the refreshed copy back into the link. And bridges means these operate both in physical and data link layer of LANs of same type. Again, these operate both in the physical and data link layer, these bridges, and they divide a large network into smaller segments. So they contain logic that allow them to keep the traffic for each segment separate, and thus as repeater that relay a frame only the side of the segment which is containing the intended recipient and control congestion. And we also have routers. The relay packets among multiple internet connected networks, so they operate in a physical data link and network layer. They contain software that enable them to determine which of the several possible paths is the best for a particular transmission. And then we have gateways also. So they relay packets among networks that have different protocols, like between LAN and WAN. So they accept a packet formatted from one protocol and convert it to a packet formatted for another protocol before forwarding it. They operate in all the 7 layers of OSI. What is redirector? Redirector is a software that intercept file or prints input-output requests and translate them into a network request. Okay, this comes under presentation layer. What is a packet filter? Packet filter is a standard router equipped with some extra functionality. The extra functionality allows every incoming or outgoing packet to be inspected, and packets meeting some criteria are forwarded normally, others are dropped. What is LLC? Logical Link Control. One of the sublayers of the data link layer of OSI reference model, MAC and LLC. MAC is one of the sublayer as defined by IEEE 802 standard. And this sublayer is responsible for maintaining the link between computers when they are sending data across the physical network communication. What is traffic shaping? So one of the main causes of congestion is that traffic is often busy. So if hosts could be made to transmit at a uniform rate, congestion would be less common. Okay. So another open loop method to help manage congestion is forcing the packet to be transmitted at more predictable rate. This is called traffic shaping or traffic management kind of thing. What is NetBIOS and NetBEUI? NetBIOS is a programming interface that allows I/O requests to be sent to and received from a remote computer, and it hides the networking hardware from applications. NetBEUI is NetBIOS extended user interface. Means the transport protocol. This is designed by Microsoft and IBM for the use on small subnets. Why should you care about OSI reference model? It provides a framework for discussing network operations and design. What is EGP? Exterior Gateway Protocol. This is a protocol that routers in neighboring autonomous system uses to identify the set of networks that can be reached within or via each autonomous system, EGP. What is IGP? Interior Gateway Protocol. So it is any routing protocol used within an autonomous system. What is OSPF? It is an internet routing protocol that scales well, can route traffic along multiple paths, and can use knowledge of internet topology to make accurate routing decisions. What is Kerberos? It is an authentication service developed by MIT. Kerberos uses encryption to prevent intruders from discovering passwords and gaining unauthorized accesses to file. What is SLIP? Serial Line Interface Protocol. It is a very simple protocol used for transmitting of IP datagrams across a serial line. What is Mail Gateway? It is a system that performs a protocol translation between different electronic mail delivery protocols. This is Mail Gateway. What is RIP? Routing Information Protocol. It is a simple protocol used to exchange information between the routers, Routing Information Protocol. What is NVT? Network Virtual Net Terminal. It is a set of rules defining a very simple virtual terminal interaction. The NVT is used in the start of telnet session. What is source route? It is a sequence of IP addresses identifying the route or datagram must follow. A source route may or optionally be included in this IP datagram header. What is BGP? Broader Gateway Protocol. It is a protocol used to advertise a set of networks that can be reached with an autonomous system. It is a host that has a multiple network interfaces and that requires multiple IP addresses, which is called as multi-home host. What is autonomous system? It is a collection of routers under the control of single administrative authority and that uses a common interior gateway protocol, IGP. What is difference between this interior and exterior neighbor gateways? Interior gateways connect LANs of one organization, whereas exterior gateways connects the organization to the outside world. What is MAU? In token ring, hub is called as MAU, multi-station access unit. What is 543 rule? In Ethernet network, between any 2 points on the network, there can be no more than 5 network segments or 4 repeaters, and of those 5 segments, only 3 of the segment can be populated. What is difference between baseband and broadband signal? In baseband signal, the entire bandwidth of the cable is consumed by a single signal, baseband. In broadband signals are sent to multiple frequencies, allowing multiple signals to be sent synchronously. What is ICMP? ICMP is Internet Control Message Protocol, a network layer protocol of the TCP/ICP suite, used to host and gateways to send notification of datagram problems back to the sender. So it uses the echo test or reply to test whether a destination is reachable and responding. It also handle both control and error messages. What is router? Hybrid device that combines the feature of both bridge and router. What is frame relay and in which layer it comes? Frame relay is actually packet switching technology. Okay, so it comes under DLL, dynamic link layer. What is external data representation? External data representation is a method of encoding data within a RPC message, which is used to ensure that data is not system dependent. What is bandwidth? Every line has an upper limit and a lower limit of frequency of signals it can carry. So this limit range is called the bandwidth. So frequency range is bandwidth. What protocols is used by DNS name servers? DNS uses UDP for communication between servers. So it is better choice than TCP because of the improved speeds, a connectionless protocol which offers. So of course transmission reliability suffers with this UDP. What is the range of addresses in the class of internet addresses? Class A we have 00002 127.255.255.255. Class B you have 128 here, Class C 192, Class D 224 and Class E 224, and other variable remains the same. What are the important topologies of network? Bus topology, star topology, ring topology. Let us discuss this. Bus topology. In this, each computer is directly connected to primary network cable in a single line. Advantages is inexpensive, easy to install, simply understandable and easy to extend. Star topology, in this all computers are connected using a central hub. Okay, this is star topology. Advantages can be inexpensive, easy to install, configure, and easy to troubleshoot physical problems. Ring topology, in this all computers are connected in a loop. So advantages are all computers have equal access to network media, installation can be simple, and signal does not degrade as much in other topologies because of each computer regenerates it. Now this is very often asked question, bit rate and baud rate. So bit rate is the number of bits transmitting during 1 second, whereas baud rate refers to the number of signal units per second. Okay. Number of bits per second is bit rate. Number of signals per second is baud rate that are required to represent those bits. So baud rate will be equal to bit rate by n, and where n is the number of bits represented by each signal shift. What is the anonymous FTP and why should you use it? Anonymous FTP enables user to connect to a host without using a valid login and password. Usually anonymous FTP uses a login called anonymous or guest, with the password usually requesting the user ID for of tracking purpose only. Anonymous FTP is used to enable large number of users to access file on the host without having to go to the trouble of logins. So anonymous FTP usually have strict controls over the areas of anonymous user can access. What is the difference between an unspecified passive open and fully specified passive open? An unspecified passive open has the server waiting for a connection request for a client. A fully specified passive open has the server waiting for a connection from a specific client. What is a virtual path? Along any transmission path from a given source to a given destination, a group of virtual circuit can be grouped together into which is called a virtual path. Explain the function of transmission control block. The TCB. This is a complex data structure that contains the considerable amount of information about each connection. What is a DNS resource record? A resource record is an entry in a name server's database. So there are several types of resource record used, including name to address resolution information. And resource records are maintained as ASCII files. What is computers to remote networking services, including internet service providers? What is 10-2, 10-5, 10-T Ethernet LANs? 10-2 is an Ethernet term meaning. a maximum transfer rate of 10 Mbps that uses baseband signaling with a contiguous cable segment length of 100 meters and a maximum of 2 segments. 10 base 5 Ethernet term meaning a maximum transfer rate of 10 megabit per second that uses baseband signaling again with 5 continuous segments not exceeding 100 meter per second. 10 base T means 10 megabits per second using baseband signaling and twisted pair cable. This is twisted pair. Okay. What are the possible ways of data exchange? Simplex, GIFs, duplex, halves. This is half.